There is no women's sports team that is identifiable all over the world, that is a global brand. We will be that.
Emily, thank you so much for joining me in the Current studio today. I've been very excited to talk with you.
Thank you so much for having me. What a setup.
I know. So,
Hello.
yeah, thank you. So I know you're coming into us today as co-owner of Gotham FC, which is the New York, New Jersey area's official women's soccer team. You also are a podcast co-host, so there's a little bit of like turning the mics, turning the tables on you here today. So you made the investment in the team a couple of years ago. Since then, I feel like we've had this explosion in interest in women's sports. At the time, did you see that coming? Did you have a crystal ball?
This was a business investment. And so part of the reason we were particularly attracted to this team and this league is because what seems crazy 3 years ago is that, yes, the talent was there. Yes, a bit of the structure was there in the league. But women's sports had really not hit the cultural zeitgeist. They really weren't integrated into culture. And so it felt like there was only up to go. And I think we've definitely seen that to be true.
Absolutely. Let's dig into that a little bit more. What do you think is driving the interest that we're seeing, both from viewers as well as brands?
From a viewership perspective, I think we've always known it to be true is the level of play is very good. Yeah. The only thing that was holding the viewership back of women's sports was, quite frankly, access. Mm-hmm. The NWSL, the National Women's Soccer League, our league, is in our second year of a media deal where every game is televised. Now think about that. This is only the second year that every game is televised. So if you went to a game, liked a team, wanted to be able to follow them, you couldn't necessarily even catch that game. How can you actually follow a team that way? Before this current media deal, if you wanted to watch a game, it was going to be on Lifetime, the place that people naturally look for
I'm
sports.
always tuning in for sports.
So the fact that there is accessibility now, and the fact that brands are willing to partner with us to bring more fans into the stadium, to tell our stories in different ways, and also to highlight a lot of the players and their individual stories, because that is really the way that you build up the brand of a league, is that people need to feel attached to individual players. The fact that we have brands coming in to partner with us on that storytelling is really helping to fuel.
You mentioned such an interesting point, because really we're seeing the technology of media is sort of fueling fandom. Sports in general, not just women's sports. You know, it used to be you would have to tune into linear TV to watch it. Now we're seeing deals brokered with streaming rights. Do you worry about fragmentation, or do you see that as a good thing, that you can watch it in so many different ways?
Well, I'd like to see a more consolidated media deal for any particular sport moving forward, so there's predictability for the viewer to be able to know where they can find it. Right now, I actually think that our league is too fractured across different platforms, so you have to be a really dedicated fan to be able to follow it. I happen to be, so I can follow it. But my mother has a harder time.
Yeah.
I think the thing that is good is that we can control our own media. And this is true for any creators, right? Like, we can control our LinkedIn channels. We can control our Instagram, which is particularly good for telling what we consider cleats on and cleats off stories about our players. So because we can control all these different mediums, we can provide different access points to our fans into the team.
So what is your approach to marketing? How are you building the brand?
Our goal for Gotham, and this is set by my sister, who is our team president, our goal for Gotham is that we will be the first global sports brand for women. So think about that. There are some global sports brands that everybody recognizes, right? Like, there's Real Madrid, there's the New York Yankees. You can go anywhere in the world and you can find someone wearing one of their logos. They might not even know anything about the team, but they know they identify with it.
Yeah.
It exists on the women's side to a very small degree, only really in tennis or individual sports. There is no women's sports team that is identifiable all over the world, that is a global brand. We will be that. And so we make decisions based on that.
I've seen, even on your site, I love the way you have playing cards, like digital playing cards, and it seems like you are really putting your players front and center and building up that personal relationship or that connection.
Yeah, that is a deliberate marketing positioning that is led by my sister, having built up Peloton, because that was one of the things that when they were building up the Peloton brand, that she found that people were most attached to their individual instructors. And the first thing she said to the players is, I know I'm walking in and I know that I don't know soccer, but I do know how to build a brand around you, and I will.
You bring up such a good point. I mean, it's hard to talk about women's soccer without talking about the financial aspect of it. And as we see more athletes who are women partnering with brands, do you feel like they're being valued as they should?
No. I don't. I think that brands are still coming in too low.
How do we fix it?
I think we ask for more money, and we are. We've had the 3 highest deals in the NWSL this year at Gotham, and it's because we've held very high standards for the last 2 years. When we first walked in, brands were coming in trying to ride the wave of women's sports popularity and trying to check that box and trying to say, oh, we'll give you, essentially what would cost a large brand legal paperwork. And we said no. And we held out for brands that really understand us and want to invest in us and want to grow with us.
Yeah. So when you say deep partnership, you mean deep partnership.
Yeah, I mean financially deep partnership, but I also mean truly understanding what we need and what we need to grow and who our audience is.
Emily, thank you so much for taking time to come into the studio. This has been fascinating.
Thank you so much.